because the bondsman had not delivered everything over to the court.
Well, if the bondsman hadn't delivered everything over, Mr. Sullivan, they wouldn't have released you.
That's what I was told.
They
I didn't
wouldn't
get out
have
till 2
released
hours
you if
later.
the bondsman had not delivered all the paperwork. I've been around long enough to know that.
Okay. Well, I'm just telling you.
All right, this is not a very difficult case. You owe him $760.
Okay.
Period. End of discussion. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And now the next case.
Parties on Beacon versus May. Step forward, please.
Your complaint that I don't understand. So you're going to have to explain the logistics.
Tickets that were canceled after a marital dispute.
There's a lot about your complaint that I don't understand. So you're going to have to explain the logistics of these concert tickets to me. But what I do understand from the complaint is as follows. Miss Beacon, you and your husband were socially friendly with the defendant and her now estranged husband, but then they were together. Correct?
Correct.
And you, Miss May, had a subscription, a revered subscription to the Philharmonic. Correct?
The symphony, actually, but yes.
And for many years, you sold one of your tickets to the plaintiff.
Yes.
And it was just the two of you that went together, or did the husbands go too?
No, just the two of us.
Just the ladies?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then, unfortunately, you and your husband separated. And it was a rather acrimonious separation. And you two ladies had a falling out because, according to these papers, you took sides with the husband over a particular event, and she got angry with you.
Correct.
That's about right.
The social part of this lawsuit, I understand. It's the logistics of this subscription that I don't understand, and why you are suing her for $180. So explain it to me, Mrs. Beacon.
With regard to the cancellation of the subscription, Penelope had asked me to split the remaining tickets with her. And at this point, I was hoping to somehow fix our relationship.
Had you paid her any money for the tickets?
Yes, I had paid her $300 for the 10 concerts, and there were 6 remaining at this point.
So far, is that correct? She had given you a check for $300?
Yes.
For the 10 tickets?
Yes.
Okay.
And about a week before the next concert, I got a call from Miss May's soon-to-be ex-husband telling me that she had left the country. So I called the Performing Arts Center to get another ticket because I had one. However, because she canceled her ticket, she also canceled my ticket because they were both in her name.
But you had the tickets?
I had the tickets.
Did you go to the concert, the other 6 concerts?
I went to the other 6 concerts, yes.
But you didn't have those seats?
Correct.
Did you have to pay for the other 6 concerts?
I did not have to pay for the other 6 concerts.
But you didn't get the good seats that you had?
That is correct.
What kind of seats did you get?
They were equivalent seats. They were okay. They were fine. And this isn't as much about the money as it is the principle.
Now let me understand it. You paid for 10 tickets?
Yes.
For 10 concerts?
Correct.
$300?
Right.
You went to 10 concerts, and the seats were, although not exactly the same, according to you, equivalent?
That's right.
What's the principle?
Had I gone to the concert with my ticket, which I assumed was a valid ticket, someone else would have been sitting in my seat, had I not called.
You want to say anything?
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Miss Beacon.
Yes.
You look like a very nice lady. So I am going to try to be as calm as I can. Courts are very busy. People wait a long time to get their lawsuit heard because there are so many lawsuits filed. We have become a very litigious society, unfortunately. Your lawsuit is such a crock of baloney that I am asked to pursue a former friend who, concert-going lady, would take the time and the effort to pursue a former friend who is involved in a very acrimonious divorce, especially when you suffered no loss. So, if you suffered no loss, you have no lawsuit. And if you have a problem with principle, I suggest you take it up with your therapist. This case is dismissed.
Bodies are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy.
54-year-old Jim Knoll is suing Gary West, a salesman from Fullerton, California. Jim's son Ty says that while driving his father's new Ford Explorer, Gary's son Jared was horsing around with the four-wheel drive controls and caused $1,300 in damages to the truck.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 127 on the calendar in the matter of Knoll versus West. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Nowell, you are the owner of a four-wheel drive truck kind of car.
Ford Explorer.
According to your complaint, your 16-year-old son, that's you, sit up, was driving this four-wheel drive truck, and the defendant's son, that's you, was a, you can sit down.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Was a passenger in the front seat. According to your complaint, this young man damaged your car by pressing some sort of a button.
To change it from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive while the car was in motion. Truck was in motion, yeah.
And you say that because of that, there was damage to the car, $1,300 worth.
Yeah, it was in perfect working condition until the boys went for a 15-minute ride to the Del Taco.
Okay. You weren't in the car.
No.
Now up. What's your name?
Kai.
How long have you been driving?
About 2 months.
How long were you driving at the time that you had this young man as a passenger?
A couple days.
Days.
Yeah.
Who else was in the car other than the two of you?
Those two guys, Jeff and Chris.
So there were four of you all together.
Right.
So tell me what happened. You get in the car and your friends get in the car and you decide to take a little spin.
We were going to Del Taco to get dinner, and we were just, driving, and Jared decided he wanted to push the four-wheel drive button. So he kept hitting it, and I asked him to stop, and I told him to stop, and I slapped his hand away and tried to make him stop, but he's bigger than me, and I was trying to drive and do it at the same time, so.
Why didn't you stop the car?
Because I thought he was, I don't know.
Did you have any sense that that would damage the car?
I thought it would do it if he did it enough, but I didn't think it would do that much damage.
You wanted to say something, sir?
Yeah, basically, his friend was in the back seat, and he's not a friend with the defendant, Jared West. And so there's a little intimidation. It's a new group of friends. He was trying to be in that thing. So he didn't just stop. He came home to us and told us when it happened, and that's the first thing he said to us was how disappointed he was that he let us down. He said I should have stopped the vehicle and just kicked him out. That's what he told us, and he was crying.
Right.
He was crying. He knew he didn't do the right thing.
Okay.
But he tried to do the right thing, but he didn't stop the car.
Your name?
Jared West, Your Honor.
So you're driving as a passenger in this car?
Yes, I was.
Do you drive?
Yes.
What kind of a car do you drive?
1993 Pontiac Trans Am.
What were you fooling around with the buttons for?
Well, what he forgot to mention was that on the way to Del Taco, he stopped off and he was driving through a grassy knoll and hopped a couple curbs and stuff. And I figured since he was going over a grassy knoll...
Going over a grassy knoll?
What
does that look like?
It was like a park-type area behind a Save-On drugstore.
Mm-hmm.
And he had jumped over a curb and went onto the grass. And I figured since he was going on the grass and stuff that he might want to be on four-wheel drive, and then he he said he didn't want to, he didn't want me to do it. And then it just, I'm sorry to say, it sort of turned into a game after that, and I shouldn't have done it.